Hello everybody. First I want to apologize. I've been saying I'll meet live and I haven't been Saturday night and Wednesday night. Make this a quick video. Haven't got a time set yet on how to do this and when to meet. Just watch this channel when I can do another live session. I don't know where to begin. Again, like the last video, I just don't know where to begin. I mean, all of the issues I had harbored within me since the memories came back to me from the experience of 1992 with Beniico on the road there in Texas, and whoever these people were in camouflage that had her in custody, the people that hurt her. You know, I got her on the PSB7 Spirit Box talking to me, and that's on my YouTube channel. And some recent visitations to a forest here where I live now in England. And there was this rather curious tree sitting out there, a very old tree. And it's a fairy tree, is what it is. And it's called a fairy tree because that's what people have been doing. They've been taking offerings out there to the fairies, and they've decorated it to be a fairy tree. It's a very old elm. I think it's about 1,000-year-old elm. It's a very old part of the forest. Local legend and folklore has that people have seen fairies around there. Now, when I mean fairies, according to the people I've spoke to, it's not Tinkerbell fairies from, Disney like that, like small 4-inch figures, or the Cottingham fairies from England from 100 years ago. People have said that was fake. The fairies that people have claimed to have seen out there are what they call wood sprites. And if you don't know the classification of different kinds of fae folk, apparently wood sprites are about 4 to 5 feet tall, black hair, are said to have wings that they tuck away, but they tend to wear their own little clothing, their own little custom, and people have seen them around this part of the woodland for a long time. Now, bear in mind the sequence of events I'm about to walk you through, just quickly. I had no foreknowledge, advanced knowledge, that there was such a tree or sightings in that forest when I stepped into that forest. Honest to goodness, I had no idea. I went looking in that forest, and I'm just like you, an explorer. You went along with me in the journey, literally, as I took you through it. This is why I was so meticulous about making so many videos, piece, segment by segment by segment, so that you would go along with me and you have a clean track record scientifically of what happened this, and then what happened next, and what happened next, and what happened next. And on this discovery, you've made the discovery with me. We've actually made this discovery together. So it was news to me. I went out to the forest, and there's this large tree, and there's apparently these sightings of wood sprites, fairy beings around that forest. And it happened on one of my forest investigations using an old EVP, electronic voice phenomena, used in ghost research with just a common digital video recorder. I went down there, and you saw about 4 or 5 videos ago where I asked the question, "What is your name?" And around that location, where there's a bridge and a bit of a little pond, and there's the fairy trees beyond, you heard a response that came through. Now, I didn't hear it at the time until I played it back. And there was a female that said, "My name is Beniico." That's rather interesting. What's going on? Head scratcher. Now, in the other woodland I was in in Ipswich, the town of Ipswich, because I'm in Felixstowe, 14 miles away from Ipswich. The woodland I went into many times. I tried the same EVP. Again, you know, I'm hoping to get something come up, anything, especially if that's, you know, I'm a guy that's talking about memories of meeting a girl back in 1992, a non-human girl telling me her name was Beniico, when I was 20 years old, brought to me by the American government, presumably the American government. I can't point fingers without having empirical evidence of that. It's not as if they showed me their ID cards, so let's be fair, it could have been anybody. America's a big place. People could dress up in costumes and run around and claim to be anyone. So, it's not very scientific to make that kind of presumption without evidence, so I don't want to do that. And it also sounds a bit paranoid and hysterical, or that I've got some preconceived issues with the American government. So we won't say they're American Intelligence Services or Air Force. There's some things I witnessed that would suggest U.S. Air Force intelligence, or naval intelligence, but go no further with that. So as you know the story in my videos, if you look on YouTube, you can see Beniico, the full story, J.P. Moss, and it's a video I did 3 or 4 years back. And of course there's the first videos where I first began talking about this in late October in the year 2012. And you can look on there because it's a segment of videos I did piece by piece by piece. I did that because in those days, for several reasons. So in those days, the researchers wanted to, if they wanted a piece to look at, rather than have to watch the 30-40 minute video, they can segment it off. So, I mean, this is an interesting thing. It's like a boot. I won't jump the gun just yet. So, a lot of what I remember from the 1992 experience of what she told me about herself, how she described herself, and I had said in my book, Beniico of the Sasani, it's a race called the Sasani, Bashar's race, that they were a time-traveling race, and that there was some connection to human history, human past, that apparently they, as she was telling me in 1992, that we've been in your history. Your civilization knows us in folklore and mythology and legend, already is aware of us. But, you know, people hear about alien hybrids and they think, well, that's a timeline issue. If they're made in the 20th century, then they began here, and then from that moment forward, we're going to be hearing and seeing them. Wrong. Because they're dealing in time travel, they go back into human history for whatever reason. They're interacting with humankind through the centuries, i.e. woodlands and things like this. I don't know. They're either trying to maybe alter human history so human beings are maybe a better civilization. That love is going to make us all better anyways. It's a sweet thing, feeling that love. So I've been talking about it. I've been, making videos, and I'm going to the forest, and I went to the forest in Ipswich for about 4 years, and what came up were a lot of mantid, alien-looking beings in my photos, infrared photos. Curious. But not a lot of Beniico. What's going on here? Then, as circumstances were, I had to move down to Felixstowe, came down here, worked down here, went to the forest out here, no advanced knowledge, no foreknowledge of what's in this woodland. None. Entered into the forest as like I had done before, and began, with all my equipment, high-V vest, and some identification on me, so the members of the public don't think I'm just taking pictures of some guy with cameras running around in the woods. So you want to make sure that you're identified in some way. That's even in the Mutual UFO Network field training manual. You want to have some identification on you, especially when you're carrying cameras and there could be minors or underage people running about. And never, quickly, footnote, never, and I say it in all my videos, never do any video or recording or photography when there are underage people about. That protects you and them, and then you don't fall into some litigation. Okay? Though you're not doing anything wrong, it's going to be a difficult one to explain to the police. Oh, by the way, I'm trying to find aliens in the forest. What? officer, what? What's the issue? Well, these kids said you were taking pictures down here. Yeah? Of aliens. Okay. So, I've even said, you want to say, and it's a general term in science, and you're not lying if you say it, anomalous environmental study, AES. It's like, you know, I hate to sound like this, but the intelligence community may have a point. Sometimes you just have to keep things a little quiet. I don't. Some of you may get mad at me and hate me and unsubscribe, but I do see some sense in being responsible about what you say to local members of the public you're encountering face to face like that out in a wooded area where people feel maybe a little vulnerable, and you're running around with equipment, cameras, equipment. So you want to be very, very responsible how you report who you are and what you're doing. Again, like I said, just be very careful. I don't even think the Mutual UFO Network people who are trained follow that too carefully. They've got ID badges that say Mutual UFO Network, and although it says that, and they've got their training, they still run around with cameras and equipment, and have been caught out and dragged in and questioned about their activity with that, even with identification. So unless you just necessarily want to have eyebrows raised and people get freaked out, I would advise a little less, a lower profile about what you're doing, unless you have witnesses out there that are going, I saw this thing, then tell them what you're doing. Or you're going to meet somebody there for an interview, fine. Otherwise, I really don't see the need to sensationalize the activity to the public. So AES is a fine terminology in science, anomalous environmental study. It's safe, covers you. People can fill in the blanks all they want. The guy's studying biology, birds, insects, anomalous meaning something unknown. So, well, science is about exploring the unknown. He could be out there doing a David Attenborough special for all we know. So be very careful, please, because I care about all of you, and don't fall into those traps. Don't go out there going, well, I'm with the Center for UFO Studies, CUFOS. They've been harassed by general members of the public as well. And you know, you go out and wave that badge, or Mutual UFO Network, or BUFOS, the other societies and organizations, or, you know, just want to be responsible. You know, anomalous environmental study says it all. Okay, you don't have to do that. People can go, oh, you're part of a cover-up. Well, no. Listen, I've got years of experience, and it's you know. But be identified. Have if you're with MUFON or CUFOS, please have your identification ready. Have it on you know, how they train you to do it, and deal with the public. I personally wouldn't throw it in their face right away. But anyhow, so here I am going down that woodland, and I have no idea what to expect. I don't go in with an expectation. And so what ends up happening is I came out with, you know, this contact that's coming on, and then recently I did electronic voice phenomena, EVP recordings around this place where I live, and the aerial activity in the sky, as I reported in my last video. And she's making references in the recordings to the forest, to the location by the fairy tree. Again, let me remind you, I had no foreknowledge of what was in that forest. And so we start to get the impression that, well, the last time I was in there, I saw an outline of her in the woods. Okay? That was during an EVP session. So then I quickly jumped over to video. All I got on video was at this point some image of something with some lights, bits of lights beginning to coalesce in the woodland. What's picked up by the camera, what's seen with the eye, sometimes that can vary. The camera can pick up something that's going to be a bit different. But something was definitely beginning to manifest. Well, the last EVP session, she's asking me to go back to the forest. I'm actually being invited back to the forest to meet her in person. So I thought, well, I can wait for a live chat, or I can go ahead and just make this video. Now, ideally, the best thing to do is you want to try and get a week advance notice for people so they can see you live, ideally. But because of the circumstances of what's going on, and this is quite big, by the way, if anyone's been following me for a number of years, I'm going to just say this, for our physicists that are watching, I think I've just proven a bootstrap paradox in space-time continuum. Let me pause a minute while you take that in. Okay, think about that one for a minute. Again, I had no advanced knowledge that there would be any fairy-related connection in folklore or local culture about this forest. I had no idea. I didn't know what to expect, and there she says, "My name is Beniico." And now I'm getting activity on EVP that is earth-shaking. It's groundbreaking. She is literally right around me without having to use the spirit box. There's absolutely, the veil between our dimensions is so thin right now, it's like a hole is just punched through. I've walked through a door. And I don't know what to say. The love I'm feeling is incredible, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I don't know. Yeah, the evidence is right there. Which came first, chicken or the egg? When did I actually meet Beniico? Is the quiz question. Was it at 20? Was it at some experience earlier in my childhood during alien abduction experiences with her and these other beings? Or was it now? I began to meet her when I got down to this forest now in my life. And I think that would make more sense. And for that reason, I'm now meeting her. Would explain why she went back into my past throughout my entire life and has been interacting with me ever since. Might also explain why some people who have a desire to cover this up and wash it away, and you do get cases of that. I have to say, it's documented cases of men in black, people being threatened, killed, things going on. It's like they don't know how to control this with me. It's kind of like they don't really know how to turn this off, or how do we get on Jason Moss's case and really get her away from him? Well, the thing is, because it didn't begin in my past, it began now. What would be to my past, my future. So we're in what could be. Well, just by that evidence alone, guys. You saw the videos. You're all been going along with this journey with me. And for those of you who've been around for years, you've seen it. I mean, I've done a very serious, heartfelt search in that forest in Ipswich. Turned up mantid beings and not much in the way of EVP or Beniico contact. Spirit box sessions in the house in Ipswich were productive, but that was about it. And there was all these indications and hints that she kept giving about the timeline. The timeline. Well, what's going on? What do you mean? What? And now, as it seems, I'm here. I'm in Felixstowe. There's a reason for this. It was going to happen anyways. It was already here. Mind blown. Wow. I can't even believe. I find myself running around going, I need to pinch myself. Is this real? Is this real? My God. I've been asked to put the EVP sessions up. I'm going to be doing that. You can listen for yourself. You know, again, it's all connected. It validates itself. It crisscrosses and validates itself. What do I mean by that? Well, someone said, is it possible it's just a ghost deceiving you? Well, again, that's interesting because I'm in a woodland and near some fairy trees that are 1,000 years old, and according to local legend, people have been seeing fairies and wood sprites around these trees for centuries. The footpath that you see in my videos was built in the 1820s. Okay, and these trees are, some of them date back 3,000 years. Very old forest in England. And again, listen, I didn't know there was any fairy culture down there. And again, I have said in videos, and I've said in my book, that she mentions a connection to fairies, and I said in a live YouTube chat and Facebook chat some time back, before I went in this woodland, that she had been saying this, that there was a connection, that the human race knew them as in these terminologies. By today's times, we call them alien hybrids. But I mean, it's like mind blown. I mean, there it is. You're all seeing this. You've been walking along with this. Okay, and in one of my videos, you do have the evidence uploaded, where I have indicated in the video at the certain time interval. I've indicated the time in the video where she says, my name is Beniico. You can listen to that. There it is. And that was about 5 or 6 weeks ago in that location. And if nothing had come after that, then that would be an anomaly of interest. But and for me personally, my personal experience, it's her. But I can't say that without, you know. Do we have further data to support it? Yes. Now that's come up this week. So again, it's mind-blowing. Thank you for subscribing and going along, following along on this journey, because we're going back to the forest when it stops raining. We're going to go back there because this time, folks, I've been invited into the forest. It's not just some willful go out, feel called. I mean, in this last recording, she's saying, go back to the forest, I'm there. So, you know, if you need evidence of paradoxes in space-time, you've subscribed to the channel, you've seen it yourself. It's my cat, Colby. Come here, buddy. You've all seen it yourself. There it is. Wow. 8 years since the recall of the events in '92, because my memories were altered by whoever that was back then. And since 2012, 6 years? 6 years on YouTube talking about this girl, Beniico, and here it is, 6 or 7 years on, and all that stuff on Facebook and waffling on, and here it is, my God. Wow. Again, like I said, mind blown. It's literally a bootstrap, a paradox, a causality. Is it bootstrap? A causality space-time paradox, a loop, a space-time loop. I am literally, I am seeing and witnessing a loop here. I mean, I'm back in the forest. I'll be getting back in there. I'm just trying to think when to go live, because it would be short notice to do it tonight. This is very short notice, and forgive me, very much forgive me. We could try Friday night, 10 o'clock my time, Greenwich Mean Time, London. There's been so much going on here, I keep saying this. Don't hold me to it. I'm going to try. But I'm absolutely over the moon about this. I've never been happier. I've never been happier. All the post-traumatic stress disorder issues of 92, the pain of what I saw her go through, all the leftover hurt of seeing them hurt her, remembering that, it's always caused me to cry. I cried on the 2012 video. I cried in interviews with people on radio. When ITV Channel 4 News interviewed me, Joanne Summerscales interviewed me in 2013, I cried then on camera. I didn't want to do any crying, but I'm going to say for the first time, I feel so good. I feel like I just want to dance. I want to run, I want to dance. I love her so much. I just want to do one thing. I want to get up and dance. I want to goddamn dance. I just want to sing. I want to dance. I don't know what I want to do. I'm happy. Like I said, I'm happy. I have never been happier in my life. I am so happy. She's made me very, very happy. It tickles me. It's like some kind of extreme super love. Just absolute amazing. I have never been happier. I'll do anything she wants at this point. Anything. I'm just over the moon about all this. It's just so amazing. Next video, I can guarantee it. We'll be back in the forest. Getting a live chat. I'm going to try to get that Friday night, 10 o'clock. But anyways, I am just absolutely... It's a sense of total love shared here, and I'm just over the moon. I cannot even put into words how happy this has made me. I still keep going, my God, what's going on? Just keep trying to wake up. What? But it all started to come together in my mind in a scientific sense. I now begin to realize what's going on, and it's wonderful. I'm beginning to see it now, and it's just wonderful. It's all very clear to me now, and it's wonderful.